yeah, I should have brought my picnic mat. Then at least I can sit here, enjoy the view. Nobody bring umbrella for me. Oh, hi guys! I'm Pamela and this is Step Up, a series where we take a peek into what science, tech and engineering public officers do to keep Singapore future ready and why they do it. I think the last time I was here was maybe a few years back to watch the NDP fireworks, and I remember seeing fighter jets fly by also, and it was so cool. I think it makes you realise how important they are because they keep our skies safe. I mean, after all, it is one of our first pillars of total defence, right? What was it? Military, civil and economic? And then what's the other three?
Social, digital and psychological.
Oh, thanks Leah.
Hey, no problem. And just like you mentioned, right, the fighter jet is looking super cool. Yes. I also agree because it's like my favourite part of the NDP parade every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I also think it's good to know that Singapore skies are in good hands if we ever come under attack.
Correct, but do you know that there are also people who guard us against smaller threats, say maybe drones? Have you flown a drone before?
I've never flown a drone before, but I have friends who do, and I heard there's a lot of rules and regulations about it.
Yeah, so like that, what happens if someone breaks a rule of flying a drone? Who catches them? Is it the Air Force?
Well, I don't know because if, for example, you drive car, right? Then if someone does something wrong, you can just catch them by checking their license plate.
Correct.
Yeah, but for drones, I don't think they have a license plate. So how?
Actually, I think I know who can help us. Oh, I didn't know we can fly drones here.
What do you mean by fly here? Like there's restrictions on it?
Yeah, but I have a friend from CAAS who can run us through some things. Hi Tyler!
Hi, I'm Tyler from CAAS. There might be a lot of restrictions that we have in Singapore, but in Singapore we have such things called the UAFA, the Unmanned Aircraft Flying Area. So in this zone is a designated area for hobbyists to fly their customized drones and also operate their drones within them.
Oh, okay. Why do people fly UAs in the first place actually?
Well, there's a variety of reasons why people fly UAs. So things such as drone light shows, building inspections, mapping, and even things such as tree surveys or facade inspection, which can replace humans. These jobs tend to be dangerous in nature. So when the drones come in to replace them, it makes things a lot safer.
Wow, I've actually seen the drone light shows before and it's so pretty and so well coordinated, but I didn't know about the rest, to be honest. But if you're from CAAS, does that mean you're like the drone police of the sky or something?
Yes, but that's just one small part of what CS does. In CS, we also regulate the airport, we regulate airlines, we regulate aircraft just to make sure flying is a safe and enjoyable experience for everyone.
Oh, so are there a lot of potential threats in the skies? Like, why is it important to keep it safe?
Well, Singapore is a global aviation hub. We have a lot of planes coming in and out of Changi Airport every day. We in CAS, we do a lot of work to ensure that we keep drones outside of the path of the commercial aircraft. On top of that, we also do a lot of checks on drones and make sure the pilots are competent in flying in them so that we can definitely make sure that they are not in the path of the airplanes.
Oh my god, that's so cool. I didn't know you all do so many things at CAS.
Yeah, well, we started from huge fighter jets to now our very own drone policeman. But Leah, do you know that there's actually an even smaller threat to our safety?
What is it?
Pathogens.
Pathogens? Like the virus?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Tyler, do you know anything about it?
Well, I'm sorry, I can't help you on that.
Okay, well, no worries. We'll look for someone else then.
Wow, this is giving deja vu, you know. Like I remember standing outside the lab, just waiting for class to start.
Yeah, actually I think the last time I was standing outside a lab was in school, like waiting for chemistry class.
Well, this is quite similar, but it's quite different as well because this is where they study dangerous pathogens to learn more about infectious diseases that can infect the entire population.
Right, so something like the pandemic.
Yeah, something like that, and maybe, you know, even a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, and I remember during that time, right, there were a lot of our healthcare systems being super overwhelmed by this.
Yes, correct.
So what exactly do they study about the pathogens here?
Okay, how about we head in to find out more from my friend, who's actually an expert in this field. You want to meet her?
Yeah.
Hey!
Hi, hello. Hi, thank you so much for coming. I'm just about to start. Y'all want to join?
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So now that we are in our personal protective equipment, I heard y'all have some questions to ask me.
Yes, but you all, we actually mean Leah because she got a lot of things to ask. It's her first time here, you see, so give chance lah.
Yeah, I mean, I have one question for now, which is how many pathogens do you guys have in the lab?
Oh, we have a lot. We've got bacteria, fungi, parasites, viruses. Basically, each lab works with several different pathogens. We even have lab facilities with higher biosafety levels that can handle more formidable viruses. So you remember the Mpox outbreak last year?
Yeah.
Basically, we also helped to detect Mpox virus in the patient samples, and we were ready to test out medications or vaccinations in case the outbreak had gotten bigger.
women in STEM. Like,
She's so
I love her.
prepared.
I want to say a word that I couldn't say, but she's so like,
Yes, I know what you mean.
you know, like,
Passionate.
these viruses that you work with, right? It sounds like they are scarier than just dissecting frogs back in school.
Oh, I mean, I don't know because I never really dissect frogs
Okay,
before.
it's okay. So, in that case, how virulent are these pathogens exactly?
We work with a large range of pathogens with different levels of virulence. So for example, today we are going to be working with OC43. It's a human coronavirus that we use to study coronaviruses, but it's a much safer version. Like worst case scenario, if you get infected, you just get a common cold. But I mean, you don't go and drink like 5 liters of these lah, you know what I mean?
If I accidentally touch it lah, for example, accidentally I touch it, I accidentally touch my face, accidentally fall sick, then I can accidentally get MC. You know, because sometimes I go doctor, right, then I'm like, oh, I'm feeling sick, but this one I'm really sick, but it's accidental, you know?
Stop being a bad influence.
So just checking, no, just asking for friends.
We don't encourage this behavior, yeah?
No, clearly we don't.
So back to the questions about the viruses and stuff, right? Because I also wanted to know a little bit about them. Like, are they super viral because they are like a bit like amoeba? They can just multiply, divide, and then they just create a super swarm overnight. Like, how do they spread?
Unlike bacteria, viruses have to use cells to multiply. When one virus enters the cell, they can multiply into thousands in a span of like 2 to 3 days. So, you know, we are going to see the cells in the microscope later.
Yes.
These cells are actually going to be used for the virus to multiply. And we can then collect them and then do research.
What is your favorite part of the job?
I really like experiments. I love research, I love science, I love like, sometimes experiments don't really go well and you're just like, wow, this is the worst. But then you optimize it, try again and again. And then eventually when it works, it's honestly like the best feeling in the world, you know, like when you try again, and then you see that your persistence actually pays off. But also I really like generating pseudoviruses. That's also another thing that we do in the lab.
What is a pseudovirus? Like a fake virus?
Yeah, exactly. A pseudovirus is basically a clone of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, where on the outside they look exactly the same, but they have been engineered to not replicate.
Do you feel like it's a little bit dangerous also, you know, because you're in very close contact with all these like pathogens on a daily basis? Do you feel a bit scared when you go to work, and you know what keeps you motivated to keep doing your job as well?
I'm not scared of it because the safety regulations here are really stringent.
So they have precautions in place,
Yes, yeah.
Are you accepting interns?
I think you want to sign up with it.
No, I'm asking for a friend.
Oh, okay.
It's so funny, Leah.
Hey, that was quite fun, you know, working with all these little dots and beans every day.
Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed myself too, thanks to Lee. But drones and viruses though, to be honest, before this, right, I didn't think they had anything in common.
They do. They both travel through the air.
Wow, that's true. But anyway, whether it's the drone traffic police, the scientists who work with highly infectious diseases every day, they're both STE jobs that share the same purpose of securing Singapore.
Yeah, and even though most people don't know, right, there's a lot of goals and projects that people in STE are currently working on to help create a better Singapore. And Pam is going to bring you all through them all.
Yeah, so join us next time and look up controlshift.sg to find out more. Bye!
You can move somewhere else.
Okay. See you Thailand. I thought you said you only had one question.
Now I got another question.
No, I just checking only.